Hi, this is Tom Anas, head coach and general manager of the San Antonio Gunslingers. It's about that time of year, recruiting time. Now, for all you that haven't played for us before or played in the indoor football league, we're going to be having open tryouts coming up real soon. Make sure to check with our social media. For those of you that do play IFL football, I can't talk to you right now. I can't talk to you until September 15th. That's okay. We're not going anywhere. Feel free to reach out after that date if you have any questions about becoming a gunslinger. Thank you and God bless.
Let's go.
We continue to look for great organizations and great people, and I think we hit a home run here in San Antonio.
Do everything you need to do to make this football game. Grab his wrist, and then bring him down, and now I can move everything.
Greetings, Gunslinger Posse, wherever and wherever you are. This is August 7th, 2024, and you are watching Branded here live from the home version, brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, live from our various living rooms for episode 37. He's Tom Anas. I'm Ralph Judkins. He's the head coach and general manager of the San Antonio Gunslingers, and I'm not. Folks, go ahead and join the team tonight by showing up in the chat with a comment, question, or where you are in the world. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the stream and subscribe on YouTube as we push to 1,000 followers, and on Facebook as well, as we go for 10,000, 100,000 there, and on Twitter we reach for 5,000. Coach, any words before we kick this thing off?
I don't think so. Just glad to be back and lots of stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah, and we'll be back with some of that in a moment. You're watching Branded, the home version.
It's like literally like hockey and football had a baby.
Type of action you'll never see in the NFL.
Let's go,
Gunslingers, let's go, baby! Woo!
That's the best entertainment there is. Once you've been to a game, you're going to get hooked. Dependability. It's expected by our customers, and it's demanded by me. I personally guarantee the certified techs we send to your home and the equipment we install are dependable. John Wayne's American Pride comfort systems are designed specifically for San Antonio's extreme heat and humidity and come with a lifetime warranty. For comfort you can depend on, call John Wayne today.
John Wayne Service Company is a proud sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
All right, team, huddle up. Just like in surgery, we need precision and teamwork. Trust me, just like on the field, if we stick to the playbook, we'll achieve excellence.
Coach, are you sure about this?
We've trained for this. We're experts. The San Antonio Gunslingers and South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center, where precision meets performance.
16 teams, 134 games, all for this, the culmination of the indoor war, the 2024 IFL National Championship, August 17th, Lee's Family Forum in Henderson, Nevada. Learn more and get your tickets at iflnationalchampionship.com.
Are you ready for that?
And welcome back to Branded. Be like XFL Mike G on AFN. Like and share on Facebook and Twitter. Let's get us out there and get the word out. As Coach, I push a few more buttons to make things look better here. Boom, there we go. And I'll get rid of the names and title. So here we are in the first quarter. Man, has anyone ever heard of an indoor football team running a recruitment video?
I don't know. I've always tried to put something out, and nothing of this caliber with Robert. It was kind of funny how it came together. I've been dying here at home. Obviously I'm not used to being home this time of year, and
yeah,
it's been an adjustment. We'll just say that, okay. And one of the things that I did when I got back is I started thinking, I can't talk to anybody new. Like, I can't talk to IFL players around the league. And I thought, how can I talk to them without talking to them? And so I called Robert up, and he was all over it. And Susan shot that little preemptive thing by me. And we were able to get it out there, and the response has been really, really positive. A matter of fact, I've still had to tell people I can't talk to you, one of those, but it's been really, really positive, and it's hard not to get excited about that. I mean, look at our facilities, look at our themes, look at our organization as a whole. Where do you want to spend 5 months out of the year? Me personally, I would prefer spending 5 months, in a place like San Antonio with the people that we have around us all the time. And they can't do enough for you. And it's a great environment. So I just want the other guys to know that.
So wait for the appropriate time before reaching out to Coach. Okay, but last time.
Ralph, hold on a second. So the biggest recruiting tool we have are our players, because they talk. All these players talk to each other, and they talk about their experiences, and they talk about, how they were treated, how they ate, how they traveled, the swag they got, the, training center, all the stuff put together, and they talk. So they've been a great recruiting tool for us all year. And I think that's why we were able to assign 10 elite players back immediately to the roster, is because there's no place like home. There's no place like being a gunslinger. So
Because they know what's here. They know what they're coming back to.
right, and they know what else is out there. And that's a big thing. So
People are liking your hat. Alex Schuberth checking in.
I'm home. I wear my hat. It's not a Texas thing. For me. It's always I went to school in Kansas, so I wore a hat. And then when I wasn't, in Kansas and I was back here and we lived out, where we live, I wear a hat. I was on the tractor, and had my hat on, and my neighbors are used to seeing me that way. And I go into town, I got my hat on, and I'm the only guy here with the hat on. But
well, you certainly stand out that way.
yeah. Like being 6'4" ain't enough to stand out. You got to add a hat to it. Yeah. But no,
Tom,
I enjoy it.
Yeah, Tom Gross. I don't know if you recognize that name. I think he's new to this version of the show.
Great friend.
Saying nice hat, great sightings so far for 25. Hope you are doing good. Coming from an Albany Firebirds fan in Albany, New York.
Yeah.
And he had to clarify that because there's Albany fans all over the place.
Well, there's Albany fans and there's Coach Tom fans and there's player fans like Sam has his following, and that's the nice thing about indoor football is it does cross state lines, and Tom is, he is so on top of football. It's like he could be a GM somewhere probably. He is, if anything, he should probably have a podcast because that guy knows his stuff. And, it's nice because I used to say this about the fans in Albany. We had really smart football fans in Albany. And I have a few that I talk to almost weekly still, that check in and tell me how their life's going and what's going on with their kids. And because I care, I do. And the same thing with our San Antonio fans. But it's nice, it's nice to have that. And they sat at home. They're sitting at home now and we're sitting at home. So what the hell else we got to do? Talk to each other.
Absolutely. Did, let's see. The other part of this, we were talking about schedules, is you'll be coming back to San Antonio. It was already mentioned in the advertisement, albeit indirectly. Let's pop that up on the screen right now and give it its full due and consideration.
So what we're doing, everybody who's been calling me and sending me emails in the hundreds, I'm doing a open tryout on November 23rd at Gunslinger Nation.
Hold on.
Not only are you going to get to see the facility firsthand, but we're going to also do the tryout there, which is open to the fans, by the way. So we encourage the fans to come out if they want to see the new crop of or athletes trying to become gunslingers. And it's very reasonably priced at $75 online registration, $85 at the door. $75 though, we're not only giving you probably a $40, $50 jersey, we're also feeding you, which I've never heard of anybody doing at a tryout. We're going to feed you a full lunch while you're there. And that gives us a chance if there's any players that we want to sit down with and interview and talk to and learn more about them, because our vetting process, we've talked about it numerous times. And then the only thing they got to bring is some comfortable clothes to wear and some AstroTurf shoes. It says turf shoes on there. It's supposed to say AstroTurf shoes. So turf not meaning grass. We are on AstroTurf. We're not on the longer bladed AstroTurf. We're on the short carpet AstroTurf. So bring the appropriate shoes. I'm going to have trainers there. We'll supply you with all the hydration. You don't need to carry around a gallon water bottle with you. All that. Just I would bring a towel if you want, just to wipe off. But other than that, we got you covered. And it's going to be first class as always. We're going to have the coaches there. We're going to have some special volunteers helping as well. And we'll be filming it. It's going to be the way a professional football tryout should be.
Well, anything else you wanted to get into for the first quarter then?
I just think I'd like to talk real quick about the procedure in getting a hold of me. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, because last time we did this, I gave out the wrong information.
Yeah, you gave out my personal email, which I had to buy
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
100
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
megabytes of storage because I had 11,000 emails hit my
Yeah, I'm sorry.
email.
Still sorry.
I didn't know I needed Rogaine and ED medicine. But yeah, I got everything from spam to, guys
Yeah.
calling to write me and give me their life story on why they need to be a gunslinger, even though they never went to high school and they're just trying to get out. And I mean, listen, there's a procedure. And if I can help you, whether it be with us or with anybody else, there's a procedure. If you're going to go ahead and you want to solicit a team directly, write a very polite, short note letter. Include in that your football resume. Include in that game film, not just a highlight reel. Include a game. Include 2 games. Include your season you played. Did you play? Did you start? Were you second team? Were you first team? Were you All American? Were you honorable mention? Mention all that in a nice, short, condensed little note. If there's any interest, I will get a hold of you. If there's not, I'm not interested. Come to the tryout. Prove me wrong. Okay? Because, when you send me a sheet of paper, I'm living in a one-dimensional world. When you come and you perform for me, that's live. That's 3-dimensional, and I can see what you can do. Okay, I can see what kind of athlete you are, how you move, how you do things. Plus, I get to see how you interact with other guys out on the field. So I'm going to just tell you, the reason I put it out so early, and I told James this morning, I said, the reason I'm doing it so early is so guys can prepare for this as if it was an opportunity of a lifetime. I think
because for some of them it is.
I think if it's late October and you put out something, hey, in 2 weeks we're having a tryout, you're not getting the best version of them. You're getting the best version of them for 2 weeks of preparation. But you send it out now and a guy can't do the drill, then I know the guy can't do the drill because he had 3 months to get ready for it. And that's how we're approaching this, is you better come with your best on that day because that's all we're looking at is the best. So it's a great experience. Even if you're just coming to get the experience, it's a great experience. If you're coming to make the football team, you know what you got to do. So.
And that'll do it for our first quarter then, and look forward to seeing you on the 23rd of November for the practice. If you have an interest in being a gunslinger, we'll be back with more Branded in just a moment.
Reputation, it defines us. How we treat the customer contributes to our reputation. It's doing the right thing every time and never cutting corners. John Wayne's customers have rewarded us with over 15,000 5-star reviews and an A+ rating with the BBB. And for that, we thank you. John Wayne Service Company, our reputation is in every truck.
John Wayne Service Company is a proud sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
It's so easy to love Pick and Pull. Why? How about the largest inventory in South Texas? How about the ease of finding your part with our interchange and real-time inventory search at pickandpullsa.com? How about an organized yard and maps to find your parts, plus a shuttle? At Pick and Pull, we make it easy to save money on the quality used auto parts you need at a price you can afford.
More to pick, less pull from your budget. Now that's Pick and Pull.
For generations, the family recipes at Carrabba's Italian Grill have been bringing people together. From the sweet smell of our scratch-made sauce to our rich layers of lasagna, we believe food made with love leads to tables filled with laughter. Dine with us or order out at carrabbas.com.
And welcome back to Branded, the home edition. Ralph Judkins along with Coach Tom Manas. So this last weekend was conference championship weekend, and there are a lot of opinions out there. We already have comments from the audience. Waffles for
is there one from Ducon on what my head size is?
No. It's surprisingly Ducon is silent.
Crickets.
Yes, silent.
I'm just kidding. I talked to him already.
Waffles for days from the Blizzard fan cast. Well, let's hear the report before I hear from
Ducon said, "I guess I owe you a hat," and I said, "I guess you do." And we just kind of left it. I told him he didn't have to bother sending me a hat because I really don't want a Rattlers hat. So we just left it at that. But just the fact that he knows to stay in his lane is good enough for me.
Waffles for Days, one of the two collaborators on the Green Bay Fancast or Blizzard Fancast. He says, watching Green Bay collapse against a 500 opponent was telling. I think it lends a lot of credibility to Western teams as being massively better than the East. Any thoughts between y'all?
And I say this respectfully. We'll never know because you didn't play anybody in the West. Okay? I think that would have helped them because I think it's a different style of play. I really do. Now, all that, well, are we talking about that game now?
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into that right now.
All right. So everyone on our football team and every coach on our football team was kind of suspect of Green Bay because we didn't see them play the kind of teams we had to play every week. Okay. Let's be honest. All right. Now, Corey did a great job. Kathy and Larry, fantastic program in Green Bay. Love them to death. But again, until you play the best, you're not gonna. And to be honest with you, that should have been us playing y'all in a crossover because we beat Mass twice. The team that smoked you, we beat them twice. Okay, so if you don't do crossovers, fair's fair. Hats off to Mass. They did good, and they kind of knocked Green Bay on their heels, and they just weren't able to recover from it, to be honest with you. And I've been in those, believe me. And when you're reeling and you can't get your ground under you, it's not fun. It's not a fun place to be. And I know they're probably sick over it. But yeah, to answer your question, I think the West is hands down the best conference.
Alex Schuberth's response to Waffles was the same thing as a group, definitely night and day difference between the quality of the two conferences this year, not to mention past two championships, both won by Western sides.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be won by another Western side this year. But we'll get into that in the fourth when we talk about the game. But, that was not what a lot of Green Bay fans expected, and I had said going into the game, I messaged Hassan, the owner of Mass, and I said, congratulations. And that was about 10 minutes before the game started. So, I mean, that's how I felt about it, right? And then in the same breath, I felt the same way about Arizona and San Diego. Arizona was just playing exceptional football. And I, Coach Burley, I messaged him before the game, wished him luck, and Coach Guy. And after the game, I said, you guys almost played perfect. You almost played a perfect game of football. And you were damn close to having a perfect game of football. And I know what that feels like because I had that in 22 in the championship game. And when you're just firing on all cylinders and you can't do anything wrong, and the guys have that swagger and confidence that they know they're better than you are on that day. There's nothing better. And Arizona just looked like, they just looked unbeatable. And I don't think in 2 weeks Mass can get good enough to beat them. I just
So
don't.
3 turnovers in the first game, 4 turnovers in the second. So turnovers, possessions are always super important. Everyone knows
Those
that.
equate to stops, right?
Right.
I mean, at the
Right.
end of the day, that's what we've always talked about is, yeah, touchdowns when can win you games if you have last possession, but stops win you games. The more
Right.
stops you have, you're going to win. It's just math at that point.
Right. In the case of the Arizona game, 2 of those interceptions or 2 of the stops, turnovers, immediately turned into 6 points. Everyone kind of knows that. But so I wanted to ask a more esoteric question that you would be able to answer and us casual fans would not. The value of playoff coaching experience in the IFL or in indoor in general.
How about in
How
any league in general?
Okay.
Is huge. It's huge. It's huge in a couple different factors. I think the number one factor in championship playoff football is preparation. Okay. Some guys get so fired up that they do too much in prep with physicality and having the guys on their feet and all that. Some guys do too little because they're so nervous about wearing their guys out that they get them out of their normal routine, of being sore on Tuesdays, okay on Wednesday, Thursday getting better, Friday great, Saturday ready to go. And they get them out of that schedule too. So I think you have to, as a head coach, you have to have great experience in how you prepare your guys for playoff football. So you got to give Coach Guy the nod on that, right? The second thing is, as far as like your game preparation, yeah, you're going to put in a couple things they haven't seen, but what got you to the dance? What got you there? Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just get to be perfect at what you do well and make them stop you. And then if they stop you, shit, you're in trouble, right? But if they can't stop you, then you're just doing what you do. You're just continuing on with how you got there. I think those are all the critical parts of the coaching side of it. But the biggest one I got to say is your prep. It's not even so much the game, it's much as it is the prep for the game. I think that's a big part of it. And then don't let it be too big a stage for you. So if you got experience, you've been there before. Like it's really hard for me to get nervous before a football game. I just don't do it. I get anxious and I start anticipating that the clock's getting ready. It's almost time. I like that, but I'm not nervous. And I think some coaches get nervous. I just don't think you can. I just don't think you can. But hey, they're there and I'm here.
Right. This year anyway.
Yeah.
I got to say, that's this year.
Got to give them their props though, right?
Yep.
And like I said, it's kind of one of those things where it's really hard as a coach too, man, because you want to do everything perfect. Let's say you do all the right things and you work your ass off and you're watching hundreds of hours of film and you know every nuance that's going to happen in the game. You know everything that's going to go on. You know how the guy calls it. You know how the refs call. You know how everything. You got everything down. And then your quarterback goes up there and throws interceptions. It's just like flush the whole game down. Or your defense all of a sudden, your cornerback goes down in the first quarter and then all of a sudden they're going to pick on the new guy and they just tear him a new one, right? Or you have a key injury on the offensive line, or you get a ref that all of a sudden wants to be the show and starts throwing flags every 5 minutes. So a lot of stuff is out of your control. A lot of stuff ends up being out of your control. And I think keeping that calm demeanor as long as you can until it's time to not be calm is probably the key, because it can change like that. As quick as it went on, you can shut it off and it can go the other way. So, but I think if you let it keep rolling, you get what happened, what we saw this last weekend. Teams got decimated. I mean, they got beat up because there was never a stop. And, okay, stop. We're drawing a line here. You can't. We're not giving up anymore. We're not doing this. It just kept going and going and going and going and going.
So patience and planning, and then the ability to make a change in a game would pretty much, those are the benefits you're going to get from having experience in the playoffs. Waffles for Days, perhaps to close out that game in particular, any discussion. He says, any long-term Green Bay fan knew it was coming, Coach. It has historically been this way for over a decade. I think I'm drawn to San Antonio because the team actually changes to get better. And that talks to the point you had made about being able to adapt when the game plan and all of the efforts don't pay off because something breaks.
Well, there's two things. That's absolutely true. And you have to always be recruiting, but not necessarily bringing guys in, right? So you got to trust what you have. You got to go with it as long as you can. And when you know there's no way that you can continue to go that same way, you make your changes, right? Or you tweak your roster, or you tweak your scheme, or you simplify things, or you complicate things, or you have to make those adjustments accordingly, right? I think a lot of young coaches, and I take that back. A lot of coaches in general, they all think they're the smartest guy in the room. They
really, you have to have confidence to be a head coach in the first place to even ask for the job.
Right. But there's a fine line. And what I mean by that is when you're so overly confident that you think you're smarter than that other coach, that's usually when you get your butt kicked. I know that's when I get my butt kicked, is when I think, oh, I've got the perfect plan and this and that. And then all of a sudden you come out. That was what happened to us that one game with Naz. Is we game planned all week, working on stuff, and then we get out there and he ran a totally different offense against us. And God love him, that's smart coaching, But you have to be able to, shift gears, put your foot down, and we did, and it was a very close game. It ended the way it ended, but the thing about it is you're never going to be perfect. Your game plan is never going to be perfect. But what you can do is you can be perfect in your preparation. Okay. So did I do everything? And I'll tell you a quick one. And it happened this year. We were getting ready to play a team that we're supposed to beat. And I had this epiphany on Wednesday night that I have not prepared myself to be the best version of me on Saturday. And it was because I was doing a lot of shift changing and a lot of recruiting and a lot of other GM stuff and working with a couple players on some things. And I just said, nope. And I got up, and I think I got up and I stayed up until Friday from Wednesday night. And I watched film and prepped everything. And I would be at the ranch until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'd go to the office, stay there until 4 or 5 o'clock at night, then go back to the ranch, have dinner, and work again until the next morning, because I just did not want to be that guy. And I forced myself, even if the outcome isn't what I expect, if the game's over and someone says, well, did you give your best? I can't speak for a cornerback. I can't speak for an offensive lineman or a quarterback or a wide receiver, but I can speak for me. And I just want 25 players and 4 coaches just like that next year. Where it is so important to them that they're willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that they're the best version of themselves on Saturday. And that's what I'm going to expect. And that's the only people I'm going to surround myself with.
Well, I got to ask, because you left us hanging. Did you find the thing you thought you forgot, or did you find something that gave you peace and allowed you to finally go to sleep before the game in that effort that time?
No, there was not one particular thing. It was everything. Okay. It was everything. I keep on my desk, I keep a day journal calendar. And if I, If I have a phone call with an agent, I write it in my book. I write what the conversation was about. I write who it was with, what their contact information, everything. I'm a detail freak when it comes to paperwork. Okay. And Wednesday, I pulled open my book and my book looked empty. And it didn't look empty because there wasn't a lot of writing in it. It looked empty because there was not a lot of substance towards this game. And we went on, and when I put my foot down and I started watching more film, so I'll typically watch 4, 5, 6 of their games on VidSwap, an opponent we're going to play. I'll always watch the last 3 for sure, and then try to get 1 or 2 in. But sometimes personnel changes. If I can't find the personnel, I'll look at their old game film from another team, and I'll do all that kind of stuff. And then I'll start looking at refs, and I'll start looking at coaches' signals and calls and when do they like to do things and all that. And I had stuff in there. I just didn't have enough. I had it like some cocky ass rookie coach that thought, oh, I don't got to get ready. And I'm glad I caught myself. And I've never let that happen. And that was the only time it happened. And it happened for 3 days out of my entire career. And I will never let it happen again, because that was a gut-wrenching feeling, And, but I think, again, I can't tell guys how to coach. And I'll get coaches calling me up. Like I got coaches calling me up for jobs now, and I got coaches calling me up, asking me questions about games and stuff and players. And I can't tell coaches how to coach, because there's greater coaches than I am. But what I do tell them is I can just tell you how I do it. And I've been pretty successful at it. But it's because I surround myself with the best people, the absolute best people. And before you even think about surrounding yourself with great players, you got to surround yourself with great coaches. And then after and what's the number one trait if you ever want a coaching job under a head coach, especially me? It's easy. Loyalty. Okay, so then being great at your craft, well-respected, translate information to your players well, have a strong work ethic, do all those things. Then you surround yourself with the best players you can, okay? And then they pretty much determine the rest of it, because how you're going to coach them, how you're going to speak to them, how you're going to address them. Do I talk to them like grown men? Do I talk to them like children? Do I talk to them like teenagers? Do I talk to them like 60-year-olds? How do you talk to certain guys? And once you get all that figured out, and it sounds simple, but it's very complicated. But once you get all that figured out and you get it clicking, you're kind of like Arizona right now. You just boom, 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 firing, because that's when the hard work and the effort and all the good things you did all pay off, and that's what's going on. So you're not just playing Arizona, the football team. You're playing Arizona, the legacy franchise, right? And that's what I'm trying
to brand.
Well, that's what I'm build here in San Antonio. And I told that to Mr. Rackler and Mr. Dubing. I said, am I disappointed? Yeah, I'm heartbroken. But this is one out of a legacy that we're building. And that's my goal, is to build a legacy team here. Okay. Build a team that is so well respected. When you hear San Antonio Gunslingers, you think of, the Arizonas, the San Antonios, the cream of the crops. Okay. That's what I want it to be, is a program like that. And then supersede Arizona. Okay. Because if that isn't your goal, then shame on you. And I have nothing but respect for them, but they've got the bar set high now. So my goal is to be above them next year, right? And Coach Guy was very complimentary on our program and and I've gotten some beautiful messages. I don't know if people have seen them, but from Arizona fans that said how much they enjoyed our program and how classy we are. And
yeah, I saw quite a few of those in Facebook.
Yeah, so I mean, it's that's part of it. Not a lot of teams can say that, and that's part of it. And I'm already hearing, Arizona fans saying, well, those smug mass fans, last time they were here, they tried to start a fight with our fans and this and that. And, if you pick a scab, you're going to get bloody. Okay. So just give them the opportunity to be good and professional. And I think you guys are going to have a great game in Vegas, so.
All right. Well, that sounds like that'll do it for the first half here for Branded. We'll be back with the third quarter in just a moment. You're watching Branded, brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital.
We all need hot water. Some of us need more than others. So it's a good thing that State has a wide range of tough commercial-grade water heaters for your home. From standard models to high-efficiency and tankless models, we've got you covered, no matter where you live, what you do, or who started it. To install a State water heater in your home,
Call John Wayne today or visit us at johnwayne.com.
Welcome to Vegas!
Must be that time of the year again, where we work hard and we play hard and eat good pizza.
Hey gunslingers, come try Matanga's, voted best pizza in San Antonio. We are family and deeply invested in our community. After this game, come find a Matanga's near you. Guns up, slices up.
Welcome to South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center. Step into our operating rooms, where highly skilled surgeons work hand in hand with specialized technicians. Our dedicated team has extensive experience and expertise in spine and surgical procedures. Our commitment to patient safety is unwavering. We understand that your well-being is at the heart of everything we do. South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center, where expertise, longevity, and state-of-the-art technology come together for your health.
And welcome back to Branded for the third quarter. Ralph Judkins along with Coach Tom Manas. And we did have a good running comment come in last time. Joseph Rodriguez, who I believe is local to San Antonio, saying he missed several episodes, but he had a question he asked. The reason more fans showed up was because he's referring to the final game with Arizona, because Mr. Don Rackler opened up tickets for the rescue plan members. And Joseph Rodriguez continues with a marketing comment. He might need to do more of those. And said for the last game, sorry, his daughter was messing with his phone.
Okay. Here's the thing. It's a dangerous game of being. Don is just the most generous, compassionate, wonderful person. I mean, if you don't like Don Rackler, you don't like puppies or Santa Claus. Okay. I mean, it's that simple. He is as straight as 6 o'clock. He is a stand-up guy. Okay. And I love working for Don Rackler. But there's a dangerous game between being overly generous and devaluing your product. Okay. What I mean by that is, we could be that team that just hands out tickets left and right to everybody. And I'm not saying your cause isn't a great cause to give tickets to. Don't get me wrong. That's great if everyone shows up and everyone buys something and everyone has a good time and everyone does that. That's how you create sustainability. But at the end of the day, everybody, we're not looking to be a profit center. We're just not looking to lose millions. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So, the way if you feel the same way about Don Rackler as I do, the way you show your appreciation, the way you show how much you care about all those nice things that you get for nothing, is buy a ticket once in a while. Come to a game, buy a season ticket package, buy some jerseys, get involved with the team. If you're a business owner, get a sponsorship. Um, listen, he built this thing so it would be San Antonio's team. Now, I'm not going to speak for Don Rackler or James Stubing. I'm not going to speak for the ownership. I'm just speaking for me. And that is, if you want something to be around for a very, very long time and you want it to be in your city, take ownership in it and get involved. So when you get a free ticket, come to the game and say thank you. And the way you say thank you is, have a good time. And if you want to buy a jersey or a foam finger or cup holder or whatever, great. But if you just come and just enjoy the game, just think about it next time. And listen, for 25, $30, whatever it is, on the lower end, great, buy it. If it's me and I have a date and I got $150 to spend, I'm going to buy two $75 down in your face tickets and have a blast. And I'm going to get out of that date for about $250, $300 by the time I'm done. And that's me getting appetizers at the Palm. So what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? It's come and enjoy it and have fun and do that. But if you want the good stuff to last, you got to take ownership in your team. Make us your team. You got a lot of choices for your entertainment dollars. If you feel good about us, let us have them.
And I got to say, San Antonio, for the people in San Antonio, very well, as do I, the number of teams, minor league programs that have come in and out of San Antonio, indoor, outdoor football, indoor, well, obviously hockey, indoor. We've had a lot of teams, but they did not stay. And that is because we need to have you, the fans, showing up. Right now, you can still renew, I believe, your season ticket program for next year. Get on track for the same rates as 2024. You could start with a subscription for season tickets right now at the 2024 rate. Prices are definitely going to go up. Lock in your sponsorship right now. Commit right now. And keep the gunslingers around for as long as possible.
And I don't want to make it sound like if you don't buy a ticket, we're leaving. No.
No.
But we're not going anywhere. That's not the issue. The issue is, how high do you want this bar set? Okay. How high do you want it set with the players we bring in, the coaches we bring in, the merchandise we provide, the care and health care we provide our players, the facility, all that stuff comes at a cost. Okay. It comes at a cost every day. And I told Don Rackler, and I'll say this on live stream, my job is to monetize everything. So monetize payroll, monetize hospitality, monetize food, monetize uniforms, monetize everything, because that's the way you not only have sustainability, you have unbelievable growth, because you're putting money into the program that just keeps growing it and growing it and growing it, and that's what we want to do. We want to keep doing it.
And by monetization, we're not saying that the organization is always there with their handout saying, give us money for things. This is
I'm talking about me monetizing it.
Yeah, that it's in exchange for that. Maybe your business does not have a ton of cash, but you offer a service or goods in trade. Yes, we're very interested in talking with you about that, because we can do some neat things for your brand.
Right. And it's not only that, it's taking if you give me $1, okay, I don't want you to think the dollar goes so Don can go on vacation. Don takes that dollar
and
he puts that dollar into player payroll. He takes that dollar and puts it into rent at the Freeman. He takes that dollar, which bought us a brand new football field this year. He takes that dollar and does those things. He's not taking those dollars and taking them home. He's taking those dollars and reinvesting them into your professional football team, San Antonio. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Will we be generous? We'll always be generous. That's just our nature. Okay. That's my nature. That's my ownership's nature. That's just our culture. But say thank you once in a while by doing something for us, and helping the program. So
yeah, show the love, share the love for the Gunslingers. Joseph Rodriguez did want to let us know that he does service for John Wayne and pays for membership. He's saying Don's John Wayne service in the AC business is always excellent. Yeah, that's how they got there, managing that brand.
I was trying to explain to somebody the other day back here. I was actually at Tractor Supply, and I was picking up some stuff for the place, and a guy, I had on a Gunslinger T-shirt, and the guy asked me what that was, and we started talking, and he said, somehow Don's name came up. I probably brought it up in ownership, and I kind of told him Don's story, how he started and how in 20 some odd years he was able to do all this and to create this, and the guy's his jaw just kept going, his mouth kept opening up wider and wider, and I said, yeah. And that's when you have that selfless kind of attitude. It's almost like, I'm faith driven. So I believe that what you put out comes back to you sevenfold, if not more. And I think he's a living, breathing example of that, so very proud of him, very proud to work with him.
And that's why we have the organization we have, and the one we're going to be building. He's building, you're building into the future.
Right.
This is not a one-shot thing, folks. Really, here in San Antonio and elsewhere, get on board, get on this ride, because we're gonna have a lot of fun. It's just beginning. We're just winding this thing up.
After about 3 months of this, I remember when I just got on board, and I said to him, I said, one day you're going to want to retire, and I said, but I'll tell you this right now. And I looked him square in the face. I said, you'll never give up this football team. Well, yeah. And he just smiled, and I said, I know you won't, because this is something that, there's things that leave legacies. Now, John Wayne is a legacy company. No one can say it's not. But when you build a pro sports team that can do that, that's like Hall of Fame stuff. You know what I mean? And that would be my goal. As much as I'd love to be in there one day, I'd love to see him in there one day as an owner. That would make me probably just as happy, if not more happy, to see him and Pam sitting at that table one day. So that's our goals, and we appreciate all your help, and we appreciate you being a subscriber to John Wayne Service too, because you're not going to find a better quality company to work with. And I'm not saying that because I work for Don. I'm saying that because the thousands of people who have approached me and told me their satisfaction in working with them. So good stuff.
Right. I suppose that'll do it then for the third quarter. There's been a lot of people waiting to talk about the championship game. Well, let's get into that when we return. You're watching Branded, brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital.
Quality. Here at John Wayne, it's not just a word, it's our foundation. From the people we employ, to the service that's provided, to the equipment that we design and install, quality matters. For nearly 20 years, providing quality Texas comfort to the San Antonio area communities has been our highest priority. For quality you can count on, call John Wayne today.
John Wayne Service Company is a proud sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
what can I say? Comes with the job. 1 minute I'm making a one-hand catch on the sideline. Next minute it's lights out and I'm on the sideline. And that's why I like Complete Care, because they're fast, just like me. They have ultrasound, CAT scan, X-ray, and even on-site lab. So if you get sidelined, know where to go. Complete Care. Official sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
And welcome back. Now we get ourselves into the fourth quarter. Let's get the banner up for that real quick. Alex Schuberth has been saying a while back that, oh yeah, I'll be ready for the fourth. Well, Alec, now it's your time. Alec with Sports Coast to Coast does the betting line show. So Wager Wednesday. The bookies agreed with you, Coach, on the winner. Arizona's favored by 4.5. And not quite a total lock at minus 175 on the money line. So you win a bit on your risk of 75. If you want to go with the Massachusetts Pirates, $100 or $10 gets you $14.50 if you feel like gambling, and the over/under is 86.5. And you, Coach, have a comment. I'm not surprised.
On what?
On the lines, you shook your head on betting on Massachusetts.
I was reading a comment on while we were on breaks. The one guy said he has an IFL ring and it fits great on what's his name?
That's Krish. That's Krish.
Yeah, Krish. Krish, my rings have real diamonds. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Anyway,
and Krish had another comment earlier. I'm sure you were.
Okay, what's he got to say now? Okay,
no. What he messaged earlier about player personnel. I don't know if you saw that earlier. It was earlier in the Facebook stream. You'll be able to catch that.
No, but
XFL.
What did he say?
Oh, okay. Well, let me go back and find that.
It doesn't have to be specific, Ralph.
He said he knew some players defensively.
Okay.
Says a couple quality athletes.
Wait by the phone. Promise.
Talking about a guy that went to K-State. All right, moving on. XFL Mike G says he doesn't really want to see Arizona win.
Okay, but why?
Yeah, tell us more on that, Mike.
I mean, I guess me personally is, don't you want the best team to win? I mean, I don't get this whole, we want the underdog, we want this, we want that. Don't you want the best team to win the championship? So when they host the trophy, you can sit there and say, well-deserved, great, da-da-da. Isn't that what you want? Isn't that what everybody wants or should want? I mean, what do you want to do?
What's best for the sport?
That's great. The fourth seed won the championship, or, hey, that's great. A team with a losing record won the championship. Yeah, it's fun. And it's everyone likes the underdog. But at the end of the day, as a coach, I just want the best team to win, whoever that is,
Mike G at least admits that the Arizona beat us. That much is true. And I guess by extension, it was my argument in pre-show that given that we had 2 wins against Massachusetts, somehow that correlates to that we have a visceral indirect claim that it could have been us.
All right. So as painful as this is, last game of the year, what was the final score?
Well, it was our game. They beat us.
Yeah. What was the score?
I don't have that in front of me.
They beat us by what? A touchdown? Less than a touchdown.
Yeah.
Right.
We have Alex with a number exactly 7 points, 41-34.
So by a touchdown. We beat them. They're not even in the playoffs.
As it turned out, that's exactly correct.
Right. That's the margin of, right? So we beat them. Naz is in the playoffs. Arizona's at home. Okay, that's how close the West is. All right, it's not. We're talking teams that won 10 games and 9 games, and we're not talking about 8-8 teams, right? So, is Arizona would okay? Let's say we beat Arizona. Arizona's at home, and Mass is at home, and they don't make the playoffs at 8-8, and those two play. Who's going to win?
Well, you're still going to expect Arizona to win.
Right. Right. My point is, some teams are just better than other teams. That's nothing to take away from Mass. Nothing at all. Arizona's better than us this year. Arizona's better than San Antonio this year. They beat us. There's no other measure to decipher the standings of a football team other than wins and losses.
Right, and they beat us here. They beat us here at the Freeman. So there's not.
Right. I mean, there's
not much.
No. I mean, I'm not going to say any team that beat us beat us. I'm not going to use an excuse, but it's just see you next year. I mean, that's all you can say, right?
Yep. Dustin Jackson, a super fan, telling Alex inside of YouTube that he thinks the Rattlers are going to win. Dustin Jackson, Action Jackson, a big fan on Facebook.
I talked to Dustin actually online, and I think he's going to Vegas, and I think we're going to try to meet, at least say hello to each other. But the thing about it is that I don't know why people hate Arizona so much, because if you were gonna have a model of a football team that you wanted to start, and you wanted to do all the right things, have great ownership. I think their owner just bought a pro soccer team in Europe too. You
heard
do
something like that.
Yeah, you do all the stuff right. You take care of your players. You house them well. You feed them well. You take care of them. You run a first class organization. Yeah, I can see why everyone hates them. Those bastards.
Well, I really think it needs to be from a position of respect. I mean, you've got a model. You've got a model on the best.
But Ralph, you're a fan, right? You're still a football fan, right?
Yes.
So take the fandom out of it, and just talk about if you had a son that was old enough to play professional football, and he had his choice between going to Arizona or San Antonio or going some of the other places we know, and I'm not going to say, okay, where are you going to tell him to go? You can say, oh, well, no, I'm a fan of that subpar team that I know is going to treat you not as well. I know is not going to do all those things for you. No, go there. No, you're not. You're going to say, go to the best operated team, best coach team, best facility team, and you're going to tell them to do all that stuff. It's the same thing in Vegas. Vegas is a nice place. They got a great setup. Mike Davis does a fantastic job there, right?
They've got the entire facility. I mean, it's shared with other teams, but during season, it's theirs.
Right. And my thing is, yeah, that's a nice thing. That's a nice setup. I don't think it's as good as ours, but it's a nice setup. And when you have it, why would you hate on teams that have done it the right way? They're doing it the right way. And so take your fandom out of it for a minute and just talk about the two teams that are getting ready to play. Okay. And if you say, which one's a great organization? Well, they're both good organizations. Which one has it? Okay, they're both good. Which one is it? Okay, they're good. One has a legacy. One is relatively new, right? You take all those factors into it, then you can bring your fandom into it. Then you can say, okay, you know what? I don't like Arizona. I'm a Mass fan, or I'm a Arizona fan. I don't like Mass. Whatever. That's fine. But don't be critical of a team just because they're good at what they do. I mean, come on. I mean, that's what New England went through. The Patriots. They went through that for a decade. People just didn't like them because they kept winning. You
They
know?
hate us because they ain't us.
Right. Yeah. We kind of had that in Albany. You know,
A little bit,
yeah,
just a little bit.
and it's just it's that way. You know, it's just that way because they're gonna always find something. You know.
Yep.
And like I said, I think Arizona's gonna win by 14.
Well, you heard it here. Well, you heard it here. I can't say that we heard it here first, but you heard it here. Anything else, Coach, before we close this one out? We've gone a little bit over an hour, so we've met our contractual.
We met our
Monica. Say again, Coach.
No, go ahead.
Oh, Monica had an interesting, fun little factoid. Both teams won an IFL championship in their first year in the league.
Yeah.
And this was true 3 years ago for the Pirates and
2017 for the Rattlers.
Yep.
Okay, so here's the thing, though. Totally different times. It's kind of like LeBron Jordan, right? It's that kind
different
of
eras.
Different eras of football. And you could come in 2017. Now, listen, in 2017, Arizona didn't fall off the tree and say, hey, we're new to the bunch. They had been playing AFL football. They had been playing indoor football for decades, okay, up to that point. It's the mass was probably the biggest shocker. But I thought at that time, back in 21, I think it was 21.
Yes, it was 21.
I thought NAL football was way better than IFL football. I did. I thought it was. I thought we had all the AFL talent. We had all the indoor guys. We had a lot of experience. We had these high scoring games. We had all this craziness going on. That's personal opinion, though, right? So when they left and came into the IFL, yes, it was different, but I felt like they had some momentum behind them. Okay, when you look at on the other side, though, you look at Arizona winning in their first year. It was not like it was their first year.
Right, in existence as a team. No, they go much further back.
Yeah, I remember I was just talking to somebody who was a Danny White fan, and I said, I remember coaching against Danny White when I was in Detroit, and he was the Arizona Wranglers coach. That was in 2002, something like that.
Right, and this Arizona is part of the blood. And Alex Schubert does have an additional factoid to go on top of this. Okay. There's only been one team that has won multiple championships in the IFL until this time, because whoever wins this one will be the only other team not named Sioux Falls active franchise with multiple titles to their name. So I thought that was an interesting.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yet? Are we going to say just yet?
Okay. I'm not being critical. I'm being critical of the rule. There was no veteran rule when Sioux Falls had all those wins.
Right. In fact, the veteran rule might exist because of.
It does. Because coincidentally, when our commissioner left Sioux Falls, the vet rule came on board. Okay, so what I'm saying is, I'm not being critical that when you can have, I don't know, would they have 8 or something like that championships in a row?
Somebody will tell us. I thought the number was 6, but I'm new at this.
But it was, you had basically the same team for 6 years. I'm just saying. You want to do that again? I'm all for it. Let's go. Take the 6. Okay.
Yeah, Monica backs me up on this. My recollection was, in fact.
All right. So here's my thing.
What it was.
Okay, and ironically,
it's a lot.
Okay, hold on. Go back to that last stat you had up.
Let's get it back. Here
okay,
we go.
6 in a row. No, the next one. Oh yeah, no. 2011 to 2016, they had the vet rule. No vet rule. Right? Who wins it in 2017? Arizona. I'm just saying. But here's the thing, is 7th in 2019. Okay, but what I'm getting at is that as long as Arizona's been around, Arizona's only won what, 2 championships?
I'm not sure that that's correct. I want to say just IFL.
Yeah, 2017
this is
to 2024. How many?
Yeah, they only have
championships
the one championship in the IFL.
Okay, so it's, even though you have, and that's my point, even though you have a great franchise, okay, you have all the stuff, you have great organization, great coaching, great this, great that, right? They've won 1 up to this point. And
right,
that's how competitive the IFL is. Okay. And there has been parity. I mean, you watch a Bay Area team that won 1 game the year before they won a championship, right? And then you watch who else did that happen to? That happened to
Northern
Naz.
Arizona.
Yeah,
Naz.
Okay, so same thing happened with Naz. So my thing is, there's so much parity, and here's the advantage of having a veteran rule, that everyone basically has to reboot every year.
And so that's what leads to
parity. Right. Because you may have 14 veteran guys that, if you had them all in your squad, you just kill everybody, right? But you can only keep 7. So those 7 get scattered out either to 1 or 2 teams, and then they become really good, right? And I'm not saying first-year players don't have great impact. They do, but there's something to be said for experience too. Let's get real. So, yeah.
Yeah, just catching up on all the comments that have come in.
No, it's okay.
We talked about the Arizona Rattlers when they came in 2017. They were not a novice team or a novice organization by any stretch. Alex,
no, all I'm
bringing
saying,
the facts.
They were a good football team,
Yeah.
And they'd been around a long time, know how to do it and all that. And we're kind of babes in the woods on our end, and we're already making superior headway in what we're trying to accomplish. So it won't be long, it won't be long before. And I think once we get 1, they'll come in, they might come in bunches, it's that kind of atmosphere attracts great football players. Let's be honest,
Yeah, success breeds success. Absolutely.
So,
and it's a thin margin. It really is a thin margin. Monica reminding us that both Naz and Bay Area were expansion teams just the year before they won their titles. So Naz came in expansion 1 year, came back and won it the next. Bay Area expansion team won it the next.
So we should win next year.
Yes. Well, actually, this was supposed to be Tulsa's year, but we can jump on that trend really quickly.
I mean, hey, I can go Tulsa. I can say what happened to Frisco.
Oh.
Right. Frisco, Tulsa, Naz this year. You can start thinking, maybe Vegas after the start they had.
Yes.
That's got to be hugely disappointing over there. You look at that. And then in the East, I mean, I feel for Gibby in Jacksonville, what he went through. Dave in Iowa, Green Bay, even though they had great success, I'm sure they would trade it all in for an opportunity to be in the show.
Yep, one more.
Right. So listen, at the end of the year, there's only one happy team, right? I mean, I really give a rat's ass about making the playoffs. I give a rat's ass about being in the championship. I only give a rat's ass about winning the championship, and that's how you measure the success of your year. Did we win it? And if you didn't, you got a lot of work to do, and that's where we're at right now, and that's why we haven't stopped since the season ended for us.
And that's why the coaches show is continuing. By the way, when are we doing the next coaches show?
Let's take next Wednesday off because I'm going to be traveling to Vegas for the championship game. And we have some meetings out there. And then we'll do the following Wednesday, the night before I leave for, I'll be home. So we'll do the following Wednesday and go that route. And then we can talk about the championship game in detail too.
Right.
We'll make
so
it
you won't be long without us, folks. After this, we'll enjoy the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us do a
Enjoy the
breather.
championship together. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my biggest thing is during this week, okay, fans, you ready? Here, assignment 1, buy a ticket. Buy a ticket. Okay. And then when you come on next show, say, hey, bought mine, got 2, got 1, bought a season, did this. Let's all get a ticket for next year over this next week. All right. And then what I'd like to do is after that, I'm going to take all the people who had tickets that bought tickets, and either that week or the following week, I'll do a drawing, and I'm going to give away something really, really nice. Like really, really nice. Okay. And I am going to start, listen, if I forget or Ralph forgets, it's really his job and he screwed up, not me. That's how I always say it anyway, is that I'm going to have 4 tickets to every game. They're going to be the coaches' tickets. They're my tickets. They're good seats. Weston makes sure they're really, really good seats. And I'm going to give away 4 tickets every week during the season. Okay. And, we tried to do trivia. We tried to do this. We tried to do that and all this. What we're going to do is we're going to ask an online question, and it's going to be something you can't Google. Trust me. And we're going to figure it out. And you're going to win 4 tickets. We're going to give away 4 tickets to every home game.
That's going to be beautiful. Yeah, Monica Martin asking if it's a new car that nice.
No, it's not that nice, Monica.
But you could have come and kicked for cash.
Sustainability, okay? No, it'll be.
But you could come and kick for cash next year, perhaps.
Well, and I'm going to do a promotion next year, and I'm telling you right now, and y'all hold me to it. Where we're going to do a promotion where we're going to do a contest. We're going to pick one fan, and we'll probably make it a couple. So there's 2 tickets. And when you get selected, you're going to go to an away game with us, fly with the team, eat pregame meal with the team, stay at the team hotel, take the bus over for the game, be a part of pregame festivities, and we're going to do all that for some.
So sort of a gunslinger for a day?
I don't know. I just think it's a super raffle, man, because it'll include airfare, hotel, food, everything. It's going to be spectacular. And we're going to come up with a way that we can select that person. And believe me, it kind of works out to be about the price of a nice car when you're done. So we'll figure it out.
All said and done, if you had to charter that flight, if you had to book that hotel, yes, might very well so, especially at the last minute.
But I want to continue to do stuff for the fans as long as the fans continue to do stuff for us.
So go ahead, folks, buy those tickets. Chime back in next time. Well, that'll do it. We will head out to the meet and greet in just a moment. You have been watching Branded, brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital.
Welcome to the Vegas.
Must be that time of the year again, where we work hard and we play hard and eat good pizza.
Hey gunslingers, come try Matanga's, voted best pizza in San Antonio. We are family and deeply invested in our community. After this game, come find a Matanga's near you.
Guns up, Slice!
Ice is up.
All right, team, huddle up. Just like in surgery, we need precision and teamwork. Trust me, just like on the field, if we stick to the playbook, we'll achieve excellence.
Coach, are you sure about this?
We've trained for this. We're experts. The San Antonio Gunslingers and South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center, where precision meets performance.
And this should, if I push the appropriate button, yes, this should wrap up our 37th episode. And we've already talked about when you'll catch us next 2 weeks on the 21st of August. Before you go, make sure you have liked and subscribed. And then this is this awkward moment where you get to say goodnight to some people who aren't here, but most of them are already there, Coach. So your opportunity, take it away.
I don't know who you think lives in my house, but they're not here. Okay, so I can. Susan's upstairs. She's the only one. Okay, love you. All right, but I wanted to say goodnight to Mila, Liliana, and Eli. It's time to go to bed. Papu loves you. Good night.
And this has been branded for August 7th, 2024. And as always, keep your guns up. Good night, everybody.
Hi, this is Tom Manas, head coach and general manager of the San Antonio Gunslingers. It's about that time of year, recruiting time. Now, for all you that haven't played for us before or played in the Indoor Football League, we're going to be having open tryouts coming up real soon. Make sure to check with their social media. For those of you that do play IFL football, I can't talk to you right now. I can't talk to you until September 15th. That's okay. We're not going anywhere. Feel free to reach out after that date if you have any questions about becoming a gunslinger. Thank you and God bless.
Let's go.
We continue to look for great organizations and great people, and I think we hit a home run here in San Antonio.
Do everything you need to do to make this football game.
Grab his wrist and then bring him down. And now I can
Thank you.